Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome if you've never been here before. This is the health class you've never had with us, your holistic HMO, the Collective Health Initiative, aka the CHI. I am Dr. Yu. We are glad to be here today with you and present our topic for today, which is Detoxing 101. So for anybody who is not familiar with detoxing, if you've never done detoxing before, or even if you've had, but maybe you don't have all of the information that you'd like to have about it, some perspective, that's what this episode is for. We'll also be introducing our detox challenge. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, we're going to take a time to introduce everyone that we have here on the Collective Health Initiative and on this broadcast with us today. We're going to start out with our sister THCYNH Pickett of Royal Reset. She is our agriculturalist, our bringer of life, as we like to say. Peace, Sister THCYNH.
Peace, everyone. Peace and blessings. Grand risings to all. And I'm excited about this show.
All right, we have our sister Precious Porter of Precious LLC. She is our crisis and behavior intervention specialist, our drama therapist. Peace, Sister Precious.
Peace and wholeness, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Stay tuned. We got some good information today.
Absolutely. We have Mama Elaine Williams, our breathologist, comedic yoga instructor. Peace, Mama Elaine. We can't hear you, Mama Elaine. I think you're on mute. Mama Elaine is still muted. You started, you went back on mute.
How about now? Is the voice
there
clear?
We go. There
Wonderful,
we go.
Wonderful. Greetings to all of our listening audience. Welcome to Detox 101. I'm excited about being here, as I'm hoping you are too. Make sure you put things in the comments so we know that you are connected, and get yourself a tissue for the part I'll share.
All right. And we have Sister Clarice Manning of Rooted in Nature. She is our skincare and body care specialist, also a herbalist as well. Peace, Sister Clarice.
Hey, good morning and peace to everybody. Happy to be part of the conversation today about detoxing and getting our bodies right. Let's get it.
Let's get it. Absolutely. We have our metaphysician, our comedic warrior priest, Master Reshep on the boards today. Peace, Master Reshep. And we have to acknowledge our members who were not on this broadcast with us. Ketnu Nefer of A Soulful Touch, our massage therapist, women's health coach. And we also have Precious Mother Love, who is our sacred arts curator, arts therapist, and does so much more. Peace to you both as well. And myself, of course, Dr. Yuma Bellamy. I am herbalist, holistic wellness consultant. So let's get into this without further ado. We're going to start out with Precious Porter explaining what is detox exactly.
All right, so I went to the medical books looking for that real deep definition of detoxification, and it said, detoxification, the removal of toxic substances to make poisonous substances less harmful. So it didn't give a whole bunch of wording, but it was really powerful. What we do is going to remove poisonous substances that get into our body and make them less harmful. All right, here's how the body naturally detoxes. One is your digestive system. Our digestive system plays an important role in not just digesting our food, but it also helps in our immune system, delivering nutrients to our bloodstream. It has a great impact on our immune systems, our moods, our behaviors. And you talk about ADHD and a whole bunch of different things. that's part of the digestive system and what you take in that will affect your body. It deals with our food intolerances and overall inflammation in our body, which may lead to certain chronic diseases. Like having enough fiber from whole foods helps our bodies eliminate substances, heavy metals, and excessive hormones. It helps our bodies maintain a healthy inner ecosystem that keeps us regular to reduce bad bacteria in our body. All right, that's your digestive system. The skin. Our skin protects us from bacteria, viruses, and chemical toxins that should not enter our body. This is why having really good, holistic, natural products on our skin is important, because when we use stuff loaded in chemicals and things that gets into our body, it creates all types of havoc just in our system. And Sister Clarice is going to talk about that later on in her presentation. Your immune system. Our immune system is made up of cells, organs, our skin, all of that with one thing in mind. It gets rid of foreign substances and eliminates our body waste. Our blood, lymphatic system, and all of our cells are involved in our immune system, which makes it vital for us to have the proper nutrients to support our immune system. So what we're eating, what we're putting in our body will create problems when we're trying to detox stuff that we don't need. We got to support things to help us do our natural detox. Your kidneys. Our kidneys are efficient in filtering our waste and toxins in our systems out of our body. They are also responsible for keeping our body in balance, as in returning electrolytes like sodium when it needs it, and getting rid of any excessive electrolytes when we don't need it. This is huge reason why it is necessary for us to properly hydrate. When you want your body to have its immune system restoring itself properly, you got to do that water piece. And it's like, water for me has always been a challenge. But my body's issues has come from mostly not drinking water. Your liver. The liver filters, it helps our body to metabolize nutrients, eliminate harmful chemicals, heavy metals, alcohol, and drugs. It also breaks down fats and filters the blood. Our liver plays a vital role in carbohydrate metabolism, as in keeping the blood sugar stabilized, fat metabolisms, and converting metabolites into safe byproducts that can be filtered through the kidney. Whole foods loaded with antioxidants and nutrients help support the liver. My favorite whole food for that is beets. All right, your lungs and the respiratory system. So when we talk about the lungs, we start with something really simple, the hair in your nose. The hair in your nose blocks a whole bunch of things from getting into your lungs. All of the stuff that you can breathe in, the hair in your nose will block that so that it doesn't get into the body or filters it, and it moves a whole bunch of stuff out of place. That's why the masks are important right now, because we take things right through our lungs, just breathing stuff going on when we're talking about COVID stuff. Another important thing within our respiratory system is our mucus. It also protects our lungs by capturing those things that get past the hairs in your nose and preventing them from getting to our lungs. Another part of the respiratory system is the deep breathing. You know, when we talk about everyone that's getting sick right now, a lot of that could be helped just breathing, getting the body to move the blood and things through the body. Deep breaths is recommended for helping to cure that. And Mom and Lane is going to come with us later and talk about the importance of the deep breath. Another thing is the lymph system. Lymph is lymph word, lymph meaning connected to water. It is fluid that circulates all over our entire body, literally from head to toe. Key players included in this system are the spleen, the thymus, the endoids, and the tonsils. The lymphatic system is a big part of our detoxification defense and immune response, since its major job is to transport the fluid through white blood cells. So when we're talking about what we eat, what we put in our body, how we take care of that, all of that is part of detoxing. And when we go through the lessons with the rest of the people in this session today, you'll get a better understanding of why detoxing is important. One thing I do not want to leave out when you're detoxing is your heart, your mind, your soul. We all know how positively, mindfulness, love, laughter, joy, good vibes, all of these things make us feel better. But if you're constantly bombarding yourself with negative things, negative energy, being around what I call toxic people, some people, they never got nothing good. Every time you ask them, is something wrong? When you bombard yourself with toxins, it destroys your body capability to restore. We talked about before, being depressed, being sad, all of those things are previous lessons that we had. All of those things impact your body. If you're not spiritually sound, if you're not mentally sound, you're gonna have issues or toxins in your body that comes from the stress, that comes from the worry, that comes from that heaviness, that creates, after a while, chronic health problems, which you don't want. So when Mama Elaine also talks about the breath, she's going to help us to get to that place of being able to relax, relate, release, being in that loving environment that creates health and that helps our body, does what it naturally does, detox for us, with us doing everything we can to support that. That's my share this morning.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Sister Precious. Sister Safan, what is the importance of a spiritual and mental detox?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked that, because no matter what type of detox that you are doing, best practices always should be an integral process. So just because you are cleansing your physical body doesn't mean there aren't shifts that's happening both in your mental and your spiritual body. So yes, they should, when you attempt to do a physical detox, you should also have supports and be addressing both of those other bodies at the same time as well. And not doing so actually can be detrimental. Many of the folks that, jump in on, some pretty aggressive detoxes and pretty aggressive fasts, they be yelling at their boss, yelling at their kids, and there's all of this anger bubbling up, and they're really generally chill people. But they're like, where does all of this come from? Well, that's from not addressing all of those, the mental bodies at the same time as moving the stagnant energy from your physical body. So what I actually wanted to bring up about that is a little bit of the difference between detoxing and fasting. So detoxing itself is meant to flush. It's meant to move the stagnant energy, right? So you break it up and you send it on about its way. It's meant to enhance the proper function of energy, the proper functioning of an organ, how we communicate with the energies around us. Fasting, on the other hand, would be a withholding of something. And many of the intentions that people use that for are to do things like enhance your willpower, to gain control over your senses so that, maybe you're not dominated by, let's say, hunger. Maybe you're not dominated with the sense of pleasure and associating it with food. Then you can regain more control over the way you operate in this world. And also fasting is used to allow for rest. So I'll give you a good example. So for something that's simply physical, something like a colon cleanse versus digestive rest. So a colon cleanse would be a detox. That would be using like water or coffee or something like that. You use it, you can do enemas or things like that, but you're flushing it out using substances to assist with flushing it out. Versus digestive rest, where you would do something like with juice fasting, you could use juices without the fiber so that your gut can rest, and all that it's taking in is fluid right now. So it can rest from doing those processes of churning, from multiplication of bacteria. You just let everything chill out and even out. Versus the colon cleanse, where you're actively pushing out the bacteria that we don't want, pushing out the mucus plaques that we don't want, and you're assisting in the evacuation process. Physical effects, same results at the end of the day, but different ways of doing it. But then you have something like a water detox versus water fasting. They're very similar. The intention with those two might be the difference. So you're still drinking copious amounts of water. That is your only intake, you know, throughout the days that you do it. But someone that's doing a water detox is doing it to flush all toxins, bacteria, mucoid plaques. But somebody that may be water fasting may be doing it to remove all other senses and connect to maybe their spiritual sense. So very, very similar. The intention with those is a difference. But either way, with both definitions, fasting will always detox your body, but detoxing doesn't always have to include fasting. And either way, it needs to be definitely a mind, body, spiritual complex interconnectedness. So we just got to provide a regimen for both our mind and spirit while we're working on the body. The other thing that I wanted to address was why we do it, right? So why do we have to detox? Why do we do this repeatedly? Like, oh, you should, you flush everything out. You should be clear. You should be great, right? Now that I got rid of all of this junk, now I'm good. Well, not really. So detoxing definitely happens in stages. The more you do it, the more your organs get efficient at it. The more you cleanse. And also we're exposed every day to things. There's many things that are outside of our control, like our environment, pollution, radiation, microorganisms, like Sister Pressure was saying, toxic people, toxic media, toxic events. We're exposed to that every day. And that accumulates in our mind, body, and physical body, right? There's also things that we do to ourselves that may even be out of necessity. So, the food we eat, whether you're eating organic or non-organic, and even if you eat organic, really, what's the deal? Highly inflammatory foods that we consume, like junk food, fried food, meat and dairy, are medicines. They build up. They have an effect on all of our organs. And really, our bodies are seriously built to handle a lot, but they don't operate as well if we don't regularly flush the pipes. So my suggestion for best practices with detoxing and fasting in general, because there's 1,000 ways to accomplish the same goal, right? It depends on who you are, how you want to do this, what your goal and objective is at this time. So the best practices, I think, and I recommend everyone do, is to follow nature. So you're going to get your best energetic benefits if you're following nature. And what could that look like? So you could do just like the detox that we're bringing forward, where this is centered around the summer solstice. So you have 4 times a year where you have solar events. You have the solstices and you have the equinoxes. Use that as your time marker and use the energy of the earth, speeding up and slowing down, to speed you up and slow you down. Another way that you can do it is through your spiritual or religious or cultural high holy days. There's lots of energy that's flowing around during those times, where 2 or more are gathered, right? So use that energy to move that stagnant energy and out of your body, out of your system. The way that I personally practice is a combination. So monthly fasting following the moon cycles is very, very effective. So my practice, we follow the new moon, and it's during its resting cycle. So that's what my body is going to be doing, is resting for 3 days leading up to the new moon. We do liquids only. We incorporate herbs, smoothies, and juices. And then during the solstices and the equinoxes, when it's high energy, that's when I do my more intense detoxing. So there's so many ways that you guys can accomplish this, to accomplish your goals. The first thing you need to do is set your intention. Make sure you address both your mind, your body, and your spirit throughout the entire detox, because we don't want those unnecessary disturbances affecting your end product. But yeah, let's get going with it. I'm so excited about this challenge, y'all.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let's shift it over to Sister Clarice. Let's get some input. Rooted in nature, the specialist here. What are some products that are good to assist with detoxing? What's some things that can help to assist people with the detoxing process?
All right. Hey, everybody. Okay, so I am going to mention 3 different things that you can incorporate in with your detox, whatever kind of detox that you decide to do. The first thing is exfoliation. Our skin sheds every 30 days or so. You know, when you take a shower and you see that the little particles that's shedded skin. So you can exfoliate that. Many ways to do that, whether you want to use an exfoliating brush, scrubs, you can use a muslin cloth, you can use pumice stones for your feet. The skin on your feet is a bit more tough than the skin on your arms and even on your face. I have seen where people use a toothbrush, which is a bit more, the bristles are a bit more gentle than a regular brush that you would use for dry brushing your skin. So those are some things that you could use to help exfoliate. And exfoliating also is like what Precious was talking about, the lymphatic system. It helps to stimulate that. It helps to stimulate blood circulation. It helps to stimulate um, your whole entire body. Not just exfoliating your arms and your legs, your feet, your face. You can even exfoliate your hair. You can use scrubs in your hair. If you have locks, that washes out. Um, just just incorporate that in with your detoxing regimen. It helps. How often? I would say 1 to 2 times per week is enough. If you have oily skin, particularly on your face, a little bit more often may help. Maybe three times. I'm sorry, not a month, but a week. 1 to 2 times a week for if you have normal to dry skin. If you have oily skin, maybe up to 3 times a week. So going on to my second thing, thing that I want to mention is the use of clays. So two types of clays in particular, Razul clay and bentonite clay. And these clays are naturally from the earth. Razul clay is particularly from Morocco. It's extracted from the mountains of Morocco. And bentonite clay is extracted from the mountains or volcanic, is basically volcanic ash found in either Hawaii, France, even in Africa. Certain parts of Africa you could find where they are extracting it from the earth, bentonite clay. And these clays are high in minerals. They also extract toxins and poisons from the body from using on your when you use it on your skin. You don't have to just use it only on your face. Most people are familiar with it through facials, things like that. You could also use it on your whole entire body. So in the form of, like, you could put it in your bath water. When you take a bath, you could take a detox bath. Use that along with Epsom salt. Epsom salt is also detoxing. When you take a bath, you can use it in the form of a poultice, where you just mix the clay up with a little bit of water until it forms some type of a mud, and you can apply it to your whole entire body and your skin. And you can also use it like what most people are familiar with as a mask on your face. You also can use it in your hair. Some people use it in the hair. It helps the hair to, if you have hair breakage, if you your hair is dry, different things like that. So those are some things about the bentonite clay and the Razul clay. Last thing, it also helps with a lot of skin issues, eczema, blemishes. When you put it, if you get insect bites or even poison ivy, when you apply that clay onto your skin, it's very healing and it's very soothing. It helps with irritations. So the last thing that I want to mention is synthetics in products. So it defeats the purpose if you're going to do a detox and you're still using products, body products, or even cleaning products that are full of toxins, synthetic chemicals, and things like that that are going to be harmful to your body. Not only is it harmful to your body, it's also harmful to the environment. When you use that stuff and it flushes down the drain, it goes into the waters, and it just causes the problems to become worse for our planet. So that's one thing. Try to transition over to natural products, organic products, plant-based products. It all plays in, and a lot of those uh, chemicals or the things that they put in those products, it's really only to sell. It makes the skin feel good, but it really doesn't have any benefit at all to your skin as far as adding nutrients or it affecting whatever issue that it is that you have with your skin, with your face. When you have blemishes, really all that stuff is just to smell good, to feel good, and that's it. So I want to encourage you to try to reduce the amount of synthetic products, of non-natural products, and introduce more natural products into your everyday regimen. And it doesn't have to be expensive stuff. It could be something as simple as coconut oil and shea butter, or just using some type of a some type of a simple lotion that doesn't have a whole lot of fragrances in it. So that is what I want to encourage everybody. One more added thing, there are also foot detoxes that you can use that also, surprisingly, toxins can come out of your body through your feet. Interestingly enough. And there's a particular detox called the Aqua Chi Ionic Foot Detox that Precious Mother Love offers as a part of her service. And what that does is that it pulls the toxins, metals, and poisons from your organs through the pores of your feet. So that is also a really good thing to incorporate as far as products. So I hope that is helpful for everybody, and would like to encourage you to be mindful of not just what you put in, but what you also put on your skin. Have a whole entire around detoxing experience.
Yes, indeed. That Aqua Chi Ionic Detox, I have, and I know a few of you on this broadcast also have experienced that before. And I actually used to provide that service some years ago as well. And one of the things that I can, share about that is that it's such an interesting process, which you just kind of sitting there and your feet are soaking in this water and you're seeing all of this stuff come out into the water, where the water starts changing colors to orange and black and yellow and so on and so forth, depending on what type of toxins are coming out of your body. And somebody can sit there and be like, yep, you've been exposed to this. Yep, you've been doing too much of this. Yeah, you might have this type of issue. And I remember, we used to have people who were dealing with arthritic pains and rheumatic pains, stiffness in the joints and the muscles. And they benefited so greatly from that. And you can literally see some of like the orange constituents that would come out into the water, which indicated a buildup of uric acid in the body, which is what leads to arthritis, so to speak, gout, kidney stones, and so on and so forth. So it's like, wow, it's a really mind-blowing experience if you haven't had it before. So I definitely would say check that out. It's a good way to kickstart your detox. People sometimes use it to promote weight loss and all kind of things like that. That comes with detoxing anyway, but definitely a good thing to check out. You can get Precious Mother Love's information in the comments. And let's keep this thing rolling and talk about some of our personal experiences with detoxing, because I know quite a few of you, if everybody here, as a matter of fact, has personal experience with detoxing, different ways and approaches to detoxing. So let's start out with Sister Precious Porter, and what's some of your experience and approach to detoxing? How's that been?
Okay, I did a detox, a 40-day detox with a group of people online, and it was a sugar detox. And so that was really great and helpful, and just learning about the different foods where sugar is hidden and everything. That was great, and it was really great for my health. Then I followed up maybe some months later, and I did a 21-day water fast. That was phenomenal, and the benefits that it did for my body. I lost 100 pounds. A lot of things that I had issues with allergy-wise didn't affect me the same way. Like, I could walk around outside now, and that was never really the case without me swelling up, eyes swelling shut, and having a whole bunch of allergic reactions. So a lot of that was the chemicals in the body. So physically, it did a whole bunch of wonders. At the same time, though, what I wasn't prepared for is how it opened me up spiritually. Not really being, should I say, guided or made aware of that aspect. It's a powerful piece, but if you're not prepared for it, that thing, it just took me through some changes.
Yeah, that's definitely a piece that doesn't always get talked about, is how it can affect your spiritual awareness and sensitivity to what's happening in your environment. And just to speak a little bit on one of the experiences that I've had, we went on a raw food detox some years ago, and this was my first time doing that at that point in time. And I was on it maybe for about maybe 2 weeks, something like that. We were planning on doing a month, and I was on it for 2 weeks. And a sister who's a very good friend of mine now, she came to my office space that I had at the time, and it was my first time meeting her. And she said, "Wow, you must be on a raw food, doing raw foods, alive foods, because your whole aura is so bright right now. Your whole energy is just moving so quickly." And I thought it was very interesting that she was able to pick up on that her first time meeting me, and that was the first time anybody had ever said that to me, even though, I have a little bit of awareness, but experiencing it is a whole different thing. What about Sister Clarice? What about you? What's some of your experience with detoxing been?
I have done a number of different detoxes. I've done a raw detox. I've done a herbal detox before. I've tried the water. I didn't like that too much. But currently right now I'm doing the master cleanse, and that's where you, for a certain number of days, you make somewhat of lemonade, lemon juice, freshly squeezed lemon juice with cayenne pepper and maple syrup. And so far it's going pretty good. I did it with my sister. She wanted to try it. She tried to try it about a year ago, and she didn't have much success with it because she didn't follow the instructions per se that of how I told her how to do it. And that's one thing that's very important. It's for you to be successful with it, you have to do it a certain way. If not, then you're going to have a not so good experience. So this time around, I said, okay, try it again. And this time we'll do it together. I'll do it with you. I'll check on you every day and see how you're doing. And this time she followed it exactly the way I told her to. And she had actually a very good experience. She did it for 10 days and she felt good. She had a lot of energy. She thought she wasn't going to have any energy doing it. She lost a bit of weight and she feels better. Her mind is more clear. And yes, it's a great benefits to doing a detox. For me in particular, it's this the lemonade cleanse or master cleanse. Some people call it a liquid fast. However way you want to call it, you know, it there are some definite benefits to it, and it makes you feel great. So me particularly, I'm shooting for about 45 days. So
Okay.
far, I'm at week 3, and it's going pretty good. This is not my. By the way, this is not my first time doing this particular fast. This is my second time doing it.
We wouldn't say jump right into a 45-day detox if this is your first time. Take it
not if
slow,
it's your first time. No.
I think that was my hard part with doing the 21-day water fast. It was my first time. And by day 3, it was crazy because I was doing African drumming, African dance, and all of that. So I'm not even on bed rest like I'm supposed to be doing the detox. I'm doing it all wrong. You know what I'm saying? I was eager to do it, but not really doing it within the proper realms of how I should have been doing it. Still got great benefits out of it, but like I said, it was dangerous because by day 3 I was near crazy. I'm out drumming. And I was literally, we were doing Soul in Motion, and it was our big event. And I literally missed a whole set because I passed out backstage. Then got up and came back and finished the show. So it was like really crazy, really crazy.
Yeah, the high energy activities, you know, especially if it's your first time, if it's something that you're new to, that might be something you want to moderate or plan around. You know, to make sure that you're not overexerting yourself, because of course food and, you know, all of that is an energy source for our bodies. That's exactly what it's designed to be, even though many of us don't view it as that all the time. You know, most people a lot of times eat for pleasure and taste and things like that, but it's really an energy source for our bodies. So when we are taking time to, you know, let a lot of stuff go, we have to keep in mind that, you know, it can free up energy, but you don't want to overexert yourself at the same time because you don't necessarily have the same, you know, stuff coming in. But once you get settled into it, sometimes it could be a little bit different. Mommy Elaine, we haven't heard from you yet, and I know you have a wealth of things to share. What's some of your experience been with detoxing?
Thank you, Dr. Yu. It's been quite a few, but the fun experience I had was when I knew nothing at all about detoxing, and my mom learned about it. Her way of working was to bring lots and lots of products to my house and say, you have got to do this. This is, you know how you take things to your children, right? If you've got something good, holding it back from your children is not something you want to do. You want to engage them, expose them. You really need to get it. Now, this was many, many years, I can say scores of years ago. Once she realized all the good it did for her, she basically bought the clay cleanse and lots of different things that would help me with what my regime would be, and I stuck it right up under the cabinet. Being the defiant, you got children, being the defiant individual that I was, I stuck it right up under the cabinet. Then my conscience got to me and said, now she has spent lots of money on this strangeness that she's bringing to my attention in love, and the least I can do is try and see what this thing does. Well, in fact, it was a difficult challenge to partake of because it was new. And that's the first thing that happens when it's something new. We have a tendency to really reject it unless it's coming from a really reliable source. So once I got over that hurdle, I began to experience the positive aspects in that it wasn't so bad. Now, because she had done it prior to my having the experience, I could go to someone and say, well, what happens when the elimination increases? What happens when I need to be closer to a restroom so the times make a difference? That was one of the major things that I learned during my fast, is that when you do it, you really need to prepare. You need to be sure that the things you need are available. You need to be sure that the time is, like Sister Safan said, in concert with nature. Working at night when rest is taking place, and then working during the daytime when you're doing your energy delivery. It's going to be important to have those coordinated. One of the benefits was that as I worked in a stadium looking at a show, many of you may know in the winter, there's a show that allows the Army band to come to town, and it's a free show, but you have to go way up the stairs if you don't get those front seats. And my experience was one of being elevated because I was so clean after that fast. The body just felt light, like I was actually ascending up those stairs. And to be greeted by a friend there, he was saying, I didn't recognize you. I almost didn't recognize you because of the vigor and the excitement. Now, that's just one of many, many, many detoxes that I've done. I've had experience with the aqua chi as well. Just watching, like Dr. Hughes said, right before your eyes, the change in colors, and then having a chart that says what you can do to make a difference in how that comes out in the future. I've had experiences with colonics or hydrotherapy. Again, that cleansing process leaves you renewed, almost as though the day you were born, you feel fresh and invigorated. I fell in love with the detox. Now, the challenge is the discipline. That's the challenge. How do you get through doing exactly what you need to do? Like Sister Clarice was saying, even though it's given to you, sometimes you need what I always reach out for, and that's community. To be by yourself is to be less efficient. And as you know, as a breathologist, I'm always talking about efficiency. Efficiency in the breathing means that we can detox through our breath if we have practiced doing such. I know it's unbelievable. This is a subtle science. What can I say? My experience with that detox was incredible. It was one where my transformational activity took place. Not many people recognize that the transformation of body, mind, and spirit are in concert with each other at best. When you are in balance, that's the way it takes place. So there is a breath, and anyone can reach out to me that would take you through the transformation from where you are to a cleaner place, a higher place, an ascending place. But it takes a little bit longer than 10 you to get in touch through the chi. So the transformational breath is one of those things that I can share with you if in fact that's something that you need. Today what I brought is something that anybody can use if we've got time, and I'll look for a nod to know. This detoxifying breath is as simple as counting as you recognize the breath is coming in, making the exchange for the oxygen, and then the carbon dioxide is coming out. It can be used on the outside of the body. That subtle science is taking place in a miraculous way. The Creator has made it such. For the oxygen, and then I know technical difficulties when I hear them. Not if you can hear me. Not
That
if you
is
can
all.
But
That is
thank you.
awesome, Mama Elaine. I'm glad to hear about your experiences. Can we hear a little bit about Safan? Safan is the last one.
Okay.
She has a little bit to say about her experience with juicing. I know that's her area.
Peace, Sister Clarice. And Mommy Elaine, I can't wait to do your breathing exercises. They're all definitely super beneficial. But yeah, so my experiences, I've tried so many different detoxes through experimentation for my clients and for personal growth and development. In fact, my favorite one is water fasting. And that has allowed myself to pretty much heal from depression. But through all of that journey, I like pretty much made contact with juicing. So part of my process, I know some of us may be familiar with Dr. Arish Latham. Through my water fast, I saw he was doing, every year he does a juice detox based on his age. And I was totally enthralled. Like I was open when I saw that. And I've just been like going full speed ahead with it ever since. And as one of my most popular products is the cold pressed juices. And what's different about those, and I'll explain to you a little bit about the process very, very quickly, is that I look at the energy and the detoxing effects of herbs, vegetables, and fruits first before I address the issue of taste. And I create a list of what herbs do what and what fruits and vegetables do what. And I combine those synergistically on paper, and they just happen to taste really good. Okay. So I don't focus on the scents, right? Because the focus is really not the sense. The focus is the energy that the food is going to bring to you. So when I'm working on focusing on this particular taking, or just in a general, something to enhance a spiritual detox, I focus on that intention first when I'm creating my products. And they just really happen to taste good. Nature finds its balance in a cup, so that's just a little bit about the part of my process. And I know we definitely have to get on to the part where you guys get involved. So this is your opportunity to figure out your own process, right? We have a guide, our 7-day detox challenge, right? We have a guide that's going to guide you through it, but you're going to find all those nuances throughout your 7 days that are going to be the most beneficial to you. So this is your opportunity to start with a little foundation and to grow from there. So I don't know, Master Ashep, do you have the image of our detox challenge handout?
There's also a question we might want to look at to make sure we answer the question too.
Boom.
Right, there it is. Whoop, there it is. Key Detox Challenge. So this is starting next Monday, June the 15th through June the 21st, which is the solstice. And we invite you all to join the Detox Challenge to incorporate these different tips that are recommended by the Chi to incorporate. It's something that's pretty general. Mostly anybody can do it. And, see the difference that it makes in your spirit, your mind, your body, and your environment, because this is the holistic concept. This is what we are about, what we promote. And we strongly believe that when you do the right things for your spirit, your mind, and your body, it will reflect in your environment as well. So all of these things that are going on in the world right now, we know we are facing a lot of challenges, especially us as melanated people. We are facing so many different things that are coming at us from so many different directions. This is one way to help to reset, to help to shift the energy, within ourselves and within our society as well at the same time. So definitely check this out. Go to the Collective Health Initiative group We'll be posting some informational bits, some suggestions, some things that can help you along through this process. You have a week to prepare to get the things that you need, so definitely join us for this, and feel free to comment with any questions, any concerns that you may have, and we'll be glad to help you through this process as we do it and implement it ourselves. Let's make this a communal thing, Last but not least, we want to have Mama Elaine show us a breath that can help to support detoxing.
Actually, before we do that question, before we do that, can we get a brief explanation? There was an interruption in the broadcast earlier that sister caught the tail end of an eczema, talking about eczema, and she has severe eczema on her legs. Just wanted to know, can that be commented on severe eczema?
Okay, I hear a lot of background noise. I wasn't clear on what the actual question was.
There's a question about someone having severe eczema on their legs.
Okay, and what can be done for it?
Okay, I had mentioned earlier a little bit about eczema.
I'm gonna interrupt really quickly because we can't technically recommend anything for anybody's condition on this broadcast, right? That becomes a legal issue. So with all due respect to the concern, we have to make sure that we're operating within certain parameters. However, I'm going to let Sister Clarice continue as well. But the detoxing, generally speaking, can be very helpful for something like that, because the detoxing helps to eliminate toxins. And eczema is basically a result of toxic accumulation in the body, to generalize it. So what we're talking about right now in this episode is very, very relevant. And, especially when it comes to sugar, and those type of things like that accumulate a lot of waste in the body. So definitely check this out. We can respond a little bit more in depth on the comments to a certain degree. Sister Clarice has some excellent tips, I'm sure, on the product side.
Just very quickly, what I mentioned before in talking about the different things that you can incorporate along with when you detox, I mentioned about exfoliation. That does help with eczema, but you want to be very mindful of what exactly you're using. The best thing probably for that would be the scrub. In particular, sugar scrubs. You can use that without any irritation or without any feeling of burning or pain or anything like that. When you are dealing with eczema, it exfoliates those dead skin cells, and it also rejuvenates the skin. That all eczema is just extremely dry skin, so that would be helpful. The second thing I mentioned was either the bentonite clay or the razul clay, excuse me. So those clays are very new. It has a lot of minerals and nutrients in them, which are also helpful for rejuvenation of the skin. So you could try those as well. Just use it. All you do is mix it with water and put it in the form of a poultice and put it on your skin. Let it dry out. Once it dries, you rinse it off, and you can see if that also would be helpful. But those two things also help within the detox process.
Excellent. So Mama Elaine, take us out, please, if you are.
Here we go. Thank you. Sitting tall as we know how to do. Let's bring the shoulders to your ears. And then allow your shoulders to relax while the sternum is still lifted way up. Remember that tissue I asked you about? We're going to blow through the nose some of these toxins. So if you have one, it might be a good time to just clear your nostrils. And with this, take a breath in just through your nose. Allow it, as we always do, to relax all the way down to the abdomen and come out. Exhaling that out. Now that you've exhaled, inhale one more time, if you will, through your nose and all the way to the abdomen. Now breathe that out quickly, right through the nose. My tissue even moved. I felt that air go out through my nose. So the idea is when you blow out, you're going to automatically breathe back in. This is going to be the beginning of the fire breath, which will give you lots of energy. Keep breathing, always deep until otherwise instructed. Relax those shoulders. This is a subtle science, remember? No way you can do it wrong, just better and better. So after having breathed in, let's give that a try. Here we go. Inhale. Now, quick breath out, letting the diaphragm quickly. I want to take a look and see how you're doing. Inhale. Quickly through the nose. Good. That's looking good. One more time. I love that smile. Inhale. Quickly. Breathing out. Nice. Let's do that again. Inhale. Breathe out. Now let's make that continuous. Just a couple of breaths. Breathe in. Now 3 in a row. Oh, beautiful. Complete that exhalation. That's the detoxing part, is the exhalation. So inhale here. Make it 4 times now. Beautiful. Complete the exhalation as your belly goes back to your spine. Inhale for 5 times. Breathe out. Complete that breath out. Breathe in. You can go 7. Let's try. Exhausting. Complete that breath, if you will. Inhale. Now I want you to exhale as you relax. You're doing really well, keeping your shoulders from getting involved. Inhale. That relaxation is always appropriate at the end of a session. Exhale. And finally, with that beautiful inhalation, arms by your sides if you can. Inhaling, arms up. Bring them up. And right back down to heart center, giving honor, peace, and thanks. Ashe.
Thank you, Mommy Elaine. So to close
Know
out,
how you feel.
thank you all for tuning in to the health class you never had. Join us next week as we'll be talking about cultural healing. Same time, Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Collective Health Initiative page. You can join us live for the broadcast, and we look forward to seeing you then. Check the Collective Health Initiative page or the Collective Health Initiative group for updates. And with that, we say peace and blessings, everyone, and balance.
And balance. Ashe. Invite a friend. So long. Thank you for being present. I like the music. The music.